New Thought Media Network is on the rise. We're looking to grow with you. Do you have technical media experience? Or perhaps a desire to learn? Are you willing to volunteer your precious time and attention? We share this message to benefit all. If you possess a computer with a camera and a microphone, we will share our knowledge with you. Behind the scenes or being the star, let us bless our one. Contact us at info@ntmedia.org.
New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
Live from a secure concrete bunker somewhere in Ohio, New Thought Media Network presents Pastor Michael Mangus with Friday's Fireside Chat, spiritual conversation for today. Here he is from the secret radio room, surrounded by thousands of watts, Pastor Michael Mangus.
Good evening to everyone across the nation and around the world. It is time once again for another fun-filled, thrill-packed, and guaranteed, always exciting edition of the Friday evening Fireside Chat here on the New Thought Media Network. I am Pastor Michael Mangus, broadcasting from the super secret radio room, surrounded by thousands, and I mean thousands of watts in a secure concrete bunker somewhere in Akron, Ohio, that is so secret. Only two people know where it's at. And that is Diego, my producer, and also the Reverend Dr. Charlotte Manning. Everyone else, they think they know where it's at, but they don't. We have a wonderful show for you this evening. Thank you for joining us. Please feel free to interact with us by posting your comments below on Facebook. We would really appreciate that. And for all of my shy people out there, email me, pastormichaelmangus@gmail.com. I do read your emails during the week, and again, would love to interact with you through that. The purpose of our fireside chat here is to talk about contemporary issues from a New Thought perspective. And as I keep saying week after week, I really want us all to have a new thought about what is going on around us, not only here in the United States, but also globally. And again, as I say week after week, you do not have to agree with me. It's okay. but I want us to really start deeply thinking about our world and also about oneness. See, in oneness, we all have a part, don't we? We talk about oneness every single week in our centers. So that whole idea that we can change our planet begins with us. All right. My special guest this evening on the second half of our program is a part of the family here at the New Thought Media Network, the host of Joys in the Journey, our weekly Peace Circle, and the team leader of our on-air prayer team, Gina Colvario Krupka. I hope I pronounced that right. If not, Gina will go ahead and she will tell me otherwise. She's a wonderful practitioner. She's also a fellow ministerial student at Holmes Institute, and she'll be joining us this evening to talk about what makes prayer effective. We had a little chat this week on Facebook with someone who commented, and they said, well, I'll go ahead and I'll tell you the comment later. It's a really good one, and we'll have Gina comment on it. I was on Gina's show yesterday. What a good time. We had a great time. So I know that you'll enjoy her here in about 30 minutes. I hope you had a wonderful week. Did you? You know, summer is going by so quickly here. Sunday will be the 1st of August. And Gina, guess what? You get to sign up for classes next week. She's looking at me going, yeah, I know. Well, this semester, I don't have any classes, but I do have a capstone exam. So I'm finally done with all the classes. So I get to take the ministerial exam and also the capstones for the graduate degree. So I guess I have to study, huh? All right. Well, here again in the news, we start off again with COVID-19. What we're covering here, courtesy of CNN, it says a new study showing COVID-19 Delta variant produced similar amounts of virus in vaccinated and unvaccinated people if they get infected. The CDC is recommending to wear masks indoors now, the experts are saying, and we'll talk about that here in a moment. In the U.S., 49 states are seeing a surge in cases, and some experts say that stricter vaccine mandates may be the best way to prevent a full downward spiral. And also, President Biden of the United States this week announced new measures to boost vaccines, including requiring that all federal employees must attest to being vaccinated or face strict protocols. Same thing in the National Football League. I wanted to comment a little bit more on the story here. It says CDC shares pivotal discovery in COVID-19 breakthrough infections that led to new mask guidelines. Again, from CNN, a new study shows that the Delta COVID-19 variant produced similar amounts of viruses in vaccinated and unvaccinated people if they get infected, illustrating a key motivation behind the federal guidance that now recommends the most fully vaccinated Americans wear masks indoors. I won't read through all of this, just hit some of the highlights. It says that experts say that vaccines make it less likely that you'll catch COVID-19 in the first place. But get this, if you do, this data suggests that they could have similar tendencies to spread it to unvaccinated folks. Interesting. Dr. Rochelle Walensky, who is the director of the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, said this high viral load suggests an increased risk of transmission and raised concerns that, unlike with other variants, vaccinated people infected with Delta can transmit the virus. And they did a study published by the CDC on Friday. It described 469 Massachusetts residents who were infected in a July outbreak in Barnstable County, which includes the Summer vacation destination of Provincetown, and no deaths were reported among them. On Tuesday, Walensky previewed these findings while unveiling guidance that people in areas with high or substantial COVID-19 transmission should resume wearing masks indoors. Over 75% of the U.S. population lives in these areas. There are questions that remain, though. It says that prior to Delta, vaccination was known to impact factors that likely influence transmission. Not only did vaccinated people tend to have lower viral loads, but they also had milder symptoms and were sick for less of the time. But the research has shown that the Delta spreads more aggressively. And earlier this month, for example, Chinese scientists described viral loads that were roughly 1,000 times higher with Delta than earlier strains. Even with Delta, COVID-19 vaccines still reduce the spread of the virus. Moreover, vaccinated people are far less likely to end up in the hospital. The CDC's internal documents estimates that vaccines reduce the risk of severe disease or death tenfold or greater, and they reduce the risk of infection threefold. And again, if you've been watching the news this week, the people who are ending up in the ICUs, again, are 99.999% unvaccinated. Dr. Walensky said this week, getting vaccinated continues to prevent severe illness, hospitalization, and death, even with Delta. Among the Massachusetts residents in the latest study, none died and only 5 were hospitalized. Of those 5, 1 person was unvaccinated and had underlying medical conditions, and 4 were vaccinated. Among the vaccinated group, 1 had received the Pfizer vaccine, and the remaining 3 had received Johnson & Johnson. The vaccinated individuals range from age 20 to 70, and 2 had underlying health conditions. So because of this, some churches and centers are either moving their service back outdoors or requiring masks. I was talking with a colleague this week, and he said that he was moving his service outdoors. Again, the science about COVID-19 and the Delta variant is ongoing. The doctors and the scientists are finding out more each day here. Please, just follow the guidance of your center's leadership. And if you have not been vaccinated, I support you in getting vaccinated. Again, I'm not telling you here. I'm highly suggesting it. With the new information coming out, are we willing to protect others by wearing a mask? I am, along with my other housemates here. So let's continue to love one another here. Let's continue to do what love would do. Now, I know that most of us here at the New Thought Media Network have received the vaccine. Again, please check with your doctor before refusing. Check with your doctor. The misinformation that I have seen on Facebook is running rampant. This is a spiritual issue, like it or not here. Yes, even the vaccinated could carry the Delta variant. Wearing a mask keeps others safe. That's the reason why we do that. And being vaccinated will help you not catch it in the first place, and also plus keep you out of the hospital if you do get it. Again, please follow the CDC guidelines. Do not hassle the ushers or the people at your center when they ask you to wear a mask, please. They're only doing it because they love you and because that they want to keep everyone safe here. I was listening to conservative radio coming back from Pennsylvania today, and again, unfortunately, there was much misinformation about the disease and mask wearing. No, your civil liberties are not taken away here when you wear a mask. Again, please follow the direction of your local health department as well as the CDC. And do your own spiritual work. Just stay out of the fear. See, that's what gets us infected, is the fear. All right. So again, I'm supporting everyone again in doing their spiritual work. Psalm 91 is a psalm that was given to the soldiers back in World War II and back in Korea. It's a wonderful psalm to repeat to yourself if you're feeling fear. Also, the prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The power of God protects me. The presence of God watches over me. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. Those two things can really also help too. And then there are the ministers that give Christianity a bad name. See, there's two types of stories in the Bible. Do what these people do and don't do what these people do. I've hesitated bringing this up, but I've been watching this minister for a while, and I just want to just comment about it. It says, since the early months of the coronavirus pandemic, Greg Locke, the pastor at a Nashville area church, has repeatedly called COVID a hoax, undermining emergency mandates and refusing to comply with guidance from public health officials. This week, Locke took his defiance a step further, making a sharp warning regarding mask wearing. Get this. Locke said, if you start showing up with all these masks and all these nonsense, I will ask you to leave. Locke told that to his Global Vision Bible Church parishioners during his sermon on Sunday. Global Vision Bible Church did not immediately respond to the Washington Post request for comments. Locke's fiery 5-minute diatribe, in which he also denied the existence of the Delta variant, comes as vaccination rates in his home state slow and infection rates climb. So far, about 44% of Tennesseans have received at least one dose of the vaccine, according to the Washington Post vaccine tracker, making it among the states with the lowest rates. The state recently reported that 98% of the people who died of COVID and 97% of COVID hospitalizations are among the unvaccinated. During a sermon in May, Locke told his churchgoers that he was not getting the vaccine and would refuse to promote it. I discourage everyone under this tent to get it, he said, according to CNN. Locke has also openly defied the state's emergency mandates in 2020, July. He also posted on Facebook that the church was remaining open and that people did not have to wear masks or social distance. That's because what he did was he took his service outside into a circus/revival type tent. Strutting back and forth on a stage beneath a sprawling red and white striped circus tent on Sunday, Locke launched into yet another impassioned monologue. And this time he warned churchgoers not to wear masks and railed against the possibilities of more shutdowns. All right. Since last year, when I first started this broadcast in Pittsburgh, I have been telling everyone to please follow the science. And we're taught that also in the science of mind and spirit. Follow the science. Cooperate with scientists. I find it interesting, again, that the good pastor is not back in his church and still in a circus tent. And yes, Pastor Locke is the most vocal out there. However, his thought is shared by hundreds of churches, mostly fundamentalist. Again, many clergy, bishops, and ecumenical leaders have died from this dis-ease. My mother died of COVID last year. This is a health, safety, and moral issue, not political. Please, COVID is still with us here. I'm not saying be in fear. What I'm saying is that we need to be aware that it's there. And again, to take loving precautions, not only for ourselves, but also for our other loved ones. And again, let us do what we can to stay healthy and again, to keep others healthy. All right? Well, hi there. Good evening. Welcome. If you wonder what you've stumbled onto, this is a Friday evening fireside chat here on the New Thought Media Network. In just a few moments, we'll have the head of our wonderful prayer team, Gina Colvario Krupka. I bet. Did I say that name? Gina, I can see you. Did I do it right? Okay. She'll correct me anyhow. Gina Krupka will be our guest here in just a few moments. She's the head of our prayer team here at the New Thought Media Network, and we're going to have her on here in a few moments to talk about effective prayer. And if you would like us to pray for you, prayer at ntmedia.org, prayer at ntmedia.org. So have you been watching the Olympics here? Huh? I thought I'd read this. Simone Biles says she still has the twisties, and it's affecting all of her individual events. This is from CNN. It says, in a series of Instagram stories, Simone Biles posted videos of herself struggling with her dismounts on the uneven bars and answered questions about having the twisties, which is the mental block that can cause gymnasts to lose control of their bodies midair. Biles said that her latest bout of the twisties started the morning after the preliminary competition in Tokyo. While she said that it has affected her before, it was only during the floor and vault events rather than the bars and beams. But this time it was literally on every event, which sucks really bad, she said. Biles even posted 2 videos of herself, which have since been taken down, of her on the uneven bars and showing struggles with her dismounts. In the first video, Biles said that she was supposed to do 1.5 more twists on her dismount, and instead the video shows her landing on her back on the mat. A second video shows another dismount in which she said that she still needed to complete another half twist, and she falls to the mat in apparent frustration. The videos were taken on Friday morning during practice, she said. She also said this in another post. She says, it's honestly petrifying trying to do a skill, but not having your mind and body in sync. Biles also says getting rid of the twisties varies with time, and in the past, they've lasted for 2 or more weeks. Biles, who withdrew from the team finals and then pulled out ahead of Thursday's all-around finals, is scheduled to compete in the 4 individual events of vault, bars, balance beam, and floor exercise. Women's vaults and bars finals are scheduled for Sunday, and the women's floor finals is Monday, and the beam final is on Tuesday. Could you imagine walking on a balance beam like that? Wow. It's not that wide, folks. Believe me. It says during her vault during the team finals, Biles said that she had no idea how she landed on her feet, because if you look at the pictures and my eyes, you can see how confused I am to where I am in the air. I can't even imagine how much pressure is on Simone Biles. What if you had to do everything perfectly? Yes, you are perfectly you, but what if you had to do every action perfectly? That's one of the reasons I got out of my job at the county, was because, again, every cash transaction that I had to do, it had to be perfect, or I got written up, which was not fun. I admire Simone Biles because she shows that she's human. And imagine not knowing where you are while performing these complicated gymnastic moves. And again, Simone is an example for all of us to do our very best and also to take care of ourselves too. So, best wishes to Simone Biles and also the rest of our Olympians over in Tokyo. All right. Hi there. Good evening. Welcome. You are watching the Friday evening fireside chat here on the New Thought Media Network. Diego is saying Michael is done with the news at 8:25. That's a miracle. Yeah. Diego's in the background saying, good job. Anyhow, here's a few announcements before we go to break. It says, yours truly is parking himself at Summit CSL. For more information, go to summitcsl.org. There you will find all kinds of wonderful information about our Sunday gathering online at 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific time. Grab your cup of coffee, your tea, your espresso, your boba tea, and please join us. It's a lot of fun, and it is really one of the best services, I believe, in New Thought today. And this Sunday, we'll start our series on the spiritual quality of joy. There you go, with a wonderful speaker and Summit Spiritual Director, Diana Mangus, wonderful longtime practitioner. Please go to summitcsl.org for more information on how to join our Zoom call. We would love to have you on that. Our service is also simulcast on the Summit Spiritual Center of Akron Facebook page, and our Facebook page also has past broadcast of the world famous and ever popular Fireside Chat, and also yours truly when he's praying on New Thought Media. Again, just go to our Facebook page, again, the Summit Spiritual Center of Akron Facebook page, and there will be past broadcasts there. I am currently open for individual practitioner sessions, Sunday speaking. I'll be speaking at the Columbus CSL here in just a few weeks in Columbus, Ohio. And also I do wonderful ceremonies, weddings, and all kinds of other stuff. So if you would like to contact me, please email me at pastormichaelmangus@gmail.com for more information. The schedule at New Thought Media Network just keeps getting longer and longer each and every week. Just go on our website, ntmedia.org, and there you will see our full schedule. We have prayer in the morning and the evenings. We have Gina's shows. We have all kinds of great spiritual nourishment and support for you all during the week. So to get a complete schedule, go on ntmedia.org. And also, while there, if you could, click on the donate button. This powerful network is going to the uttermost parts of the world with this powerful, positive New Thought message. And we would like you to partner with us. When you give here, you get the joy of giving, but you also get to know that you are affecting individuals around the globe. We may be the only New Thought Center that some people ever see. So again, please, if you could, go to ntmedia.org/donate, And we are looking for monthly partners, people that will give $5, $10, $15, $20, $25, $50, $100 a month. Your money goes a long way here to really, again, to get this message to the world. ntmedia.org/donate. All right. Time for a break here, and we'll have Gina on right after. This is the Friday evening fireside chat here on the New Thought Media Network.
The Awake Shop by R.Sc.P. Inspiration you can wear. Hats, mugs, hoodies, and tees. Visit theawakeshop.org today.
The views and opinions expressed by Pastor Michael Mangus are generally right. However, they are his own and do not reflect the views and opinions of New Thought Media Network, Centers for Spiritual Living, or any other person living or dead. As they say in the 12-Step Recovery Program, take what you like and leave the rest. Here again is Pastor Michael.
Gina Krupka is a wonderful host here on the New Thought Media Network. She is the host of Joys in the Journey and also our weekly Peace Circle. And she has just been appointed, no, she volunteered, to be the head of our prayer ministry here at the New Thought Media Network. Gina, how wonderful it is to have you on the program this evening.
It's great to be here, and I love that. Take what you want and leave the rest. That's pretty much it in a nutshell, isn't it? It's so important to remember that everyone is absolutely entitled to how they feel, how they think, and it's valid. And it is a gift to remember that we don't have to be against anything. We simply can choose to be for whatever it is that we believe, and that's enough. Mm-hmm. So that was a great, fun reminder of that. I love that.
And also, and if people say you're sometimes too negative, well, again, I bring it up because, again, there's two types of stories. Do what these people do, don't do what these people do. So, I just go ahead and I give my spin on it. But again, you're right. It's my opinion. But again, I want us to, the reason I give it, Gina, is I really want us to really start thinking about our part in all of this, and also that how we can be world changers by, again, not only changing ourselves, but also being in action with the world. So, well, let me talk about prayer. I received something very interesting this week. When I did prayer on the New Thought Media Network, I received a comment, and I'm guessing it's a young man. He went ahead and he said, I don't do prayer, I do spiritual mind treatment. So explain to us, what is affirmative prayer? What do we do?
It is tomato and tomato.
Okay.
However it is that you choose to call what it is you do, you feel free. Spirituality comes in many forms. There are people that call, religious scientists. Yet at the same time, we're not technically a religion. I consider us a teaching. And that's the gift of New Thought to me, is that it is a teaching, that it is ongoing, it is open at the top. There is no cut and dried, this is all there is. Because if there's one thing Ernest Holmes knew, it's that he didn't know it all. So whatever it is, people...
What? You mean Holmes? Even the world
almighty,
Holmes,
yes.
Almighty Holmes didn't know it all? Well, he'd tell you that.
The all-powerful wizard. Absolutely. Did not. And that, it really comes down to prayer is some people, there's language that triggers them. And, I honor that. Whatever it is that you choose to call it, I call it affirmative prayer, because to me, that's what it is. Prayer, there's a comfort in the word for me. Words mean things to different people. And for some people, it just like saying the word God really triggers some people. So we do our best on this network, especially to talk about spirit, universe, the all that is, whatever it is you would call that, whatever you would call your beloved. And for me, I was raised saying God. So sometimes it slips in and out, and I try to be mindful, because there are people that are triggered by it. And that's not what we're here to do. We're here to welcome all. So whatever you need for language, that's what works for you. It is treatment. It is mental treatment. And to me, if someone doesn't know what that is, it can sound like something that is threatening more than it is something loving. And prayer, to me, I personally have never had anyone in any of my workshops, because I'm also a life coach and I speak in different places. I've said to many people, I'll pray for you. It's a kind word, a kind thought. I'm not saying it's my God, your God, whatever it may be. You're in my prayers. It's a comfort. And there's something in that for me, and how you say it, where you say it. I've never had anybody say anything but thank you. You're honoring someone with kind thoughts. So whatever it is you do, I'm happy that you do it. In whatever tradition you follow, I'm happy that you're following it. It's a beautiful gift that we give to ourselves. And the one thing for me, the biggest thing that I have learned, and the biggest difference for me since I've come into, new thought, is the realization that, first of all, I don't have to. I do not have to pray. I get to pray, because when I connect, I get that opportunity to say thank you. I get that opportunity to realize that, there is something bigger than me, and I am connecting with it at this moment. I'm using that power.
You just got an amen from Diana Mangus.
Thank you. Thank you.
And too.
It's so important to remember we don't have to. We don't have a God with an ego. Spirit does not have that need to be, praised. It's not that type of thing. That spirit, that's all that is. When we recognize spirit, we're the ones that are in the better place. When we pray, we are connecting with that almighty power, and we are resourced. And that's the point of it. It's not to be pleading or am I worthy of. It's simply to praise and be lifted. And in all of those steps, it's remembering who spirit is. Therefore, who am I? Who I am, and what am I here for? I am here to be that individualization of spirit and celebrate that in gratitude, in joyful expectation, in celebration. And that's what prayer is. So when I go to a service, it's for me. When I go to, prayer or do anything, it's for me, because when I am in that place, I'm in celebration. And that's the gift of realizing it's not a have to, it's a get to.
So the one thing that I explain when I'm doing prayer on the New Thought Media Network is the whole idea of that affirmative prayer is the answer is in the prayer, is that we do not pray the problem, but we pray the solution, which is spirit. We're uncovering spirit. And also that there is nothing to pray to, but there's a consciousness to pray from. So explain that a little bit more. So what makes...
It's about clarifying.
Go ahead.
It's clarifying. We're all practitioners, because we are practicing. We are practicing prayer. You don't have to have a license. Anyone that is doing a treatment or a prayer is doing that. Affirmative prayer is a practice of. So it's being in that place of knowing, and knowing that I know who and whose I am. I know the power that is working in, through, and as me. And I expect my divine birthright. it is not in a place of taking anything away from anyone. In this universal shopping cart that is the world and everything in it, there's plenty. And you and I are not going to want the same car. We don't listen to the same music. We're not going to watch the same things, other than New Thought Media Network, of course. And the truth is that, you know, we get to have this knowing that we are loved and that we are love. And the more that I accept and the more that I have, absolutely, you know, absolutely, the more that I have more to give. So yes, you know, our thoughts, our prayers, and everything that we say, exactly, Diego, and everything that we say is that place of claiming the truth. So it's aligning our thinking with spirit and for the highest and best. And there's nothing but good in that.
So if you wonder what you've stumbled onto this evening, hi there.
I'm a little passionate, can you tell?
This is the Friday evening fireside chat here. I'm Pastor Michael Mangus, and I'm joined this evening by wonderful practitioner, ministerial student.
I'm a senior. I'm on my way. I'm in the home stretch.
It's Gina Krupka, who's the head of our prayer ministry here at the New Thought Media Network. So Gina, people always ask me, they say, how do people find themselves to this teaching? So how did you find yourself to New Thought?
For me, the irony for me, 3 different people in my life from different parts of my life said, you would love my church. And I thought it was the most insane thing I'd ever heard in my life. Like, who says that to people? I've never had anybody say that to me. They said, you would love my church. And it was people that I didn't know knew each other, different areas of my life. One was Toastmasters, one was work, one was a client. It's like, are you kidding? Who says that to people? And the third person, I said, what time on Sunday? And I've been showing up ever since. And the moment that I walked in the doors, I heard welcome home. And I first heard it internally. And then I heard it outwardly. So I heard it 5 times. I heard or read it 5 times during that service. And, I have known that ever since. It is, I believe when you're home, when your heart soars, when your heart is open and there's a truth that hits you in your gut. Truth isn't true because someone says it's true. Truth is, with a capital T, to me, is that knowingness that is within you, that divine spark that then says and comes alive. So I love that we love everyone, that all are welcome. There's no right or wrong way. Whenever you connect, great. However you connect, whatever it means to you, great. And, thank you. You've mentioned the prayer team, and it's a wonderful group of practitioners and ministers. And I am excited to say, as of today, we have 2 additional people coming on, 2 additional practitioners. Joe, who just became a practitioner officially yesterday. It was a ceremony. I know, it's very exciting. He's from Colorado. And Christine Egan, who is actually from locally, local for me in Rhode Island. She is part of the Concordia Center. So it's wonderful. And knowing that we're growing, because we're looking to expand the morning practices as well. For those of you that don't know they exist or haven't had a chance, maybe it's too early for you, or maybe you're at work. But boy, if you get a chance, take a look at some of the morning practices, Monday through Wednesday right now. We have meditation, there's journaling, and there's, of course, visioning, which to me is life-changing. And it is, there's a huge difference between, well, what do I want? And I'm a life coach, so trust me, I ask people about goals all the time. And opening myself up to, what does Spirit see as in for me? It is huge. And there's going to be a Thursday one coming up soon. So be excited about that. There's good stuff coming up. And we're going to have some different people that are going to lead it. And we're going to go from there. I'm not going to announce it quite yet. Soon enough.
For those people who are not familiar with visioning, what is that?
Like I said, it is opening up. It is opening up to what does Spirit see as my highest and best? It is, what would Spirit want as me? That we go through a series of questions, and I know Reverend Robert has a bunch of questions. I want to say he has 7 or 8. And the gift too that you give to the network when you do that, one of the questions we ask is, what do you see for the network? What would you see for us growing? So that's a gift in the service that you're doing for the network as well, which we appreciate. But also for yourself, because God's vision, Spirit's vision, is always so much bigger than mine. I am always humbled and often put to tears. I get so much through visioning. It's an automatic writing. I fill a page in 20 minutes. It's getting my own ego, my own stuff, and out of the way, and just letting Spirit guide. I have guided people through sessions for whether or not they were ready to retire, on things like relationships, on things like, any aspect of life, even if the financial stuckness. So what does Spirit want to show me? Because sometimes we're caught up in the story and we get the opportunity to open up to something new. That intuition that's within us, it is a gift that we get. Are you using it is the question. So it's amazing the opportunity that visioning can give. So it's a practice, and it's always there because this network is such a blessing. You can go back and watch it anytime. So take, when you get a quiet, it's not even an hour. I think it's about 40, 45 minutes. When you get some time, sit down and go through the questions. There's a difference between somebody else asking them and you asking them. I have on my phone a recording of my own myself asking these questions, because it's powerful not to have to think and just to let it flow as a meditation.
So for those of you who are not familiar with visioning, if you go to our YouTube page, and I think that Diego will bring it back up again. If you go to youtube.com and the New Thought Media Network, we have all of our programs there, including visioning. We have them there archived. You can go there at any time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, for spiritual nourishment. If you did not catch this week's Joys in the Journey, which was an excellent program because she had on one of our top hosts here at the New Thought Media.
If he does say so himself.
If he does say so himself. No, that was a great show that we had yesterday. So again, that visioning, again, is one of the spiritual practices that we use in Centers for Spiritual Living, that again open us up again for those of you who have not experienced that. Again, a series of questions is asked by someone else, that what we do then is we go ahead and we intuitively go ahead and get the answer. Again, it's usually not a lot of chatter. It's usually a color, it's a thought, it's a word, it's a picture. It's something, again.
Or it's a novel if you're like me.
You keep writing?
I have gotten a poem and an entire sheet at the same time in the matter of a half hour. Like I get all kinds of things. So now, it doesn't, everybody's different.
So was it downloaded at one time, or did
I had 2 pads going at one point, and I had one going, it was for my center, and I had this side was a poem. And in the 30 minutes that, if it even was that, I had a poem that I wrote on visioning, and my poetry is all spiritual, but it's also downloaded. It's not me, because it comes out complete with no cross outs or anything. It's just perfect. And that's Spirit. And then on the other side, I had all the notes for the center. So I had 2 full pages at the same time. And I get more from that than as you can tell, I'm good at talking, but the listening is where we win. That's where the insight is. That's where the gifts, the pearls, the answers are. Prayer is speaking. Meditation is listening.
Yes. How wonderful. Well, talk to us about your ministerial journey. What called you to this crazy thing called ministry?
Never in a million years would I have ever thought that this is where I would be. I'm a life coach and have been for over a decade. I've been in Oh, I did peer leadership in high school. I helped create a program in college, and I've been very active with all that since. I love everything to do with speaking and I've even an interactive theater troupe. So we've done all kinds of things, loving it all. And I'm very passionate about spirituality and always have been, but never in a million years thought this would ever happen. And here I am. I finished Practitioner, and as soon as I was at that last few weeks, I had this download and vision, and it was a knowing. It wasn't even a question. I'm like, okay. And I started right away. And I wasn't in a hurry. And now here I am in Boston, and I'm in a hurry because, I'm in leadership in the Boston, it's Greater Boston Centers for Spiritual Living. We are growing. We reemerged after our COVID shutdown, and it's exciting and it's fun and there's wonderful people. So it's coming out of my comfort zone of Concordia, CSL in Rhode Island, and moving on into Boston. And that's exciting, but it's been wonderful and humbling, because it wouldn't have been anything that I ever thought that I would have been called to do. But when I started, from the moment I started ministerial school, there was this part of me I always felt like I should have already. I spent my whole life with this feeling of shoulda, woulda, coulda. Like I haven't done enough yet. There's something, and I've always been on the rat race, always doing way too much. But there was still something missing, and I couldn't put that to words. And as soon as I started, I noticed that feeling went away. So I was meant to do this, and I know that. And it's humbling to me to say that, but it is. I was called to this, and I don't know what it's going to look like. And I don't pretend to know, and I don't need to know. And I do the next right thing. And whatever it is in your heart, I tell people all the time, that's what's going to fulfill you. We live in a society of bigger, better, faster, more. That's outward, and it's limited. But inside, there's something that you are here to do. Everyone has a purpose. Everyone has a ministry of their own, whether you're a parent, whether you're a mom or a dad, whether your ministry is, anything. My father-in-law was a janitor, and, he was so good to the people in that school. They held assemblies for him, honoring him. It was Mr. Mike Day. He was that wonderful. They spray painted a plunger, and they gave him all kinds of gifts, and the entire school assembled to honor Mr. Mike. How good do you have to be at what you do to be honored in that way in a private school? So he shined. It didn't matter that he was a janitor, custodian, whatever it is you want to call it. He found his place. He was so good at it that people remembered him and loved him in that job. So everybody find what brings you alive like that. A place that honors you that way. Doesn't matter what you do, it's how you do it. And when you do it that way, you're alive in a different way. That's your purpose. And if you're not feeling that, then you haven't begun to live yet. The best is yet to come.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So talk to me about the Boston Center. Have you gone back to live services yet?
We have for months. We are doing live services, and it is wonderful. It's nice to be around people. We do both. We're doing both. And it's, we're growing, and it's funny because New Thought started in New England. Yet there's really not a lot of New Thought in New England yet. So we are embarking and we are growing. You check back in a year, you'll see. Check back in a few years and wait. You won't have to check back, you'll know. So it's knowing that there in the world, we have so many people thirsty for good news. And that's what New Thought is. It's affirmative prayer. It's praising and being in this place of knowing your power. And that's what it's all about, because that's where things change, is when we come from the powerful source rather than the victim mentality.
Absolutely. And if you would like prayer from this wonderful team headed up by Gina, go to prayer@ntmedia.org, prayer@ntmedia.org. Also, If you would like to be a part of our prayer team, if you are a licensed practitioner and or minister, then please give us an email at info@ntmedia.org, info@ntmedia.org. We would love to have you on. We have all kinds of wonderful opportunities. And again, as Gina says, our schedule is expanding all the time. Again, we're going to be doing earlier spiritual practice. We're going to be doing a lot. We're going to be doing concerts pretty soon, all kinds of wonderful stuff here. So again, if you have a talent, if you would like to learn more about media, and I want to say something too, because I know that probably some of our fellow ministerial students are watching. If you need a media internship, we here at NT Media have a great one for you. We don't have you just go get coffee. Okay.
Well, you can't. Everybody's in different states and countries.
I understand that, but again, a lot of the media internships when you go to college or university, again, that when you go to the station or you're being mentored by someone, you're usually the one sent for coffee. We don't do that here. First of all, we have people go get their own coffee. Okay. And second of all, is that we put you to work day one. We show you StreamYard. We have several practice rooms in which we let people practice their skills in that. So again, if you're interested in the team, you can reach out to me. You can reach me at Gina, Gina @believeinouttoday.com. And even just to talk about it, what does it mean? What do we do? What is what will be expected of you? You can reach out to me and we can have that conversation. It's a wonderful team. There's not a lot of time and commitment. It's more consciousness commitment. And it is, it's a wonderful addition to whatever it is your ministry does. And it's a great training because these days, everything is both. Everything is going to be virtual, meeting people where they are and having that center. If you're having a physical center, it's going to be both because time's changing and there's a lot of people that don't necessarily want to meet in person. Never mind, whatever else is going on. There's a lot of people that want it when they can see it. So it's being able to be volatile that way, versatile, and being in that place of doing multiple things at once, and we can help you get really comfortable with that. We don't just throw you in. I'll rephrase that. I won't just throw you in. Rev Robert might have done that, but I'm going to make sure that you feel comfortable enough to do it and you're ready. So not to worry there. I will, I would love to, have you come join us. You can join me in the back of the house in the morning and see if it's something that is for you, that if you feel it calls to you. I always tell people, pray on it. There are places that need your spiritual support. And it is so fulfilling to give back in that way, to help people feel connected to something bigger than them and know that you are part of a team that is a spiritual team that is taking people and transforming lives. So, I know I'm going on, but it really is, you have an opportunity, whatever time you have, whatever skills you have, they'll teach you whatever you need to know. We'll teach you. And I really enjoy now all the morning people, they get up extra early to do that. If I had to get up at 10:15 in the morning, oh man, that would be tough. But so what I do is I do it at night here, 10:15 in the evening.
This is late for me. I couldn't do this one. Forget that.
Oh, okay.
This is a late one for me. My shows are early. I'm on the mornings. I do the morning side of things.
All right. Well, listen, we're getting the wrap it up sign. So Gina, thank you so very much. Thank you for joining us this evening. And we will be seeing you soon more.
Thank you.
You're on the New Thought Media Network. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. And I just want to say, make sure you take a look, because you were here yesterday with us. Take a look at yesterday's Joy is in the Journey. And in 2 weeks, we have David All coming on So keep an eye on the shows on Thursdays, and the Peace Circle is Monday nights. So join me.
All right.
For peace and for more peace and joy.
Thank you so very much, Gina. Thank you for all your service and all your love. Thank you so very much. Well, it's time for us to go here. Just wanted to remind you again, ntmedia.org is where we have our wonderful schedule. And if you could click on the donate button, that would also be very much appreciated, because again, you get to serve the world through this network. Pastor Michael Mangus, wishing you a very pleasant week.
Thanks for joining us this evening for Friday's Fireside Chat with Pastor Michael Mangus. Join us again next week at 8 Eastern, 6 Mountain for more spiritual conversations for today. For more information and replays of past shows, please visit the New Thought Radio and Media Network's Facebook page. Until next week, may God bless you richly and abundantly.